Hello and welcome to the final round of RTFR XL. That's Rony's Tuesday Fun Race Extra Large in 2023. Round 12 of the championship will take place at Fern Bay Black, a track that's due an update at some point in the future. We can't wait for that. With the XFR, the XF GTR, the 84th running of RTFR XL for the final time this year. I'm Peter Butcher. You're watching Sim Broadcasts on Twitch and YouTube. And it's a packed commentary box tonight. We've got Chris McElroy in the background. We've got Miika, Sarkinen and Eoin Harmon. Eoin, how are you, first of all?
Yeah, I'm keeping very well, Pete. Thank you for asking. I'm back from my holiday and ready to round off a spectacular year in RTFR.
Yeah, I hope you're rested and recuperated. Glad to have you back. Miika, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just doing my decent self. Nothing special going on right now.
Nothing special, nothing special. Well, hopefully you're feeling special after the action we see tonight, which is going to be coming from Fern Bay Black, which is an absolutely epic track. Here is the 12 rounds that we've had. A few mods scattered in there, some interesting combinations as well, some custom layouts, some good stuff this year in RTFR XL, some memorable races for sure. But honestly, gents, I can't believe we're at the end already. But what a place to have the end of the season. 6.6 kilometre, 4.1 mile Fern Bay Black configuration. And tonight we've got 30 laps, or 197 kilometres around here. And we've just concluded the 60-minute qualifying session, which will run down the order for you in just a moment's time. What about the car? Well, it's a GTR car, tin top, front wheel drive, lots of power to those front wheels, 230 brake horsepower all told. The car weighs just under a ton, so pretty light. But you still have to muscle this car around. You've got to get the rear out to get it around some of the tighter corners. The 2.0 litre inline-4 front engine pulling itself around the tight and twisty and often undulating corners around Fern Bay Black. It's a cool car, gents. It's difficult around here especially because of the curves. Owen.
Yeah, that's certainly true. I know one in particular has done me in the past. I just saw someone hitting the very same curb down at what would be turn 23 to 24, I think it is. So, yeah, towards the end of the lap, you'd be feeling the pinch. I suppose you want to get the good lap time, and maybe you get a little bit greedy and hit one of the curbs, and that'll send your roof upside down, I suppose. So, yeah, a lot of work to be done for the drivers, whether it be after this qualifying session now and into the race.
Yeah, we had 16 drivers qualify. Gogo will not be participating. Quite a small grid tonight, we reckon, because of the test patch activity, potentially. Fewer drivers deciding to enter the server with the test patch. But nevertheless, we're going to have a fun race. 16 cars will take the start. Rick Cardle will lead the way ahead of Mantas on the front row in just a few moments' time. Just about enough time to go through the championship standings. And it is Rick Cardle who will take the win in the 2023 season of RTFR XL, adding his name to that trophy once again this year. So congratulations to Rick Cardle. His teammate is not here currently, although we may see him. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, he's in the chat, so hopefully he wants to join and join in. But we will see when the lights go green. Then it's Rony in P3, who will not be able to move from that position, but could potentially lose the position to your teammate, Miika.
Yeah, it's not far away. What is that, 13 points? It can get kind of fishy in the end. Rony qualified better, but, well, you never know what happens to the race. It's a long race. Anything can happen, for real.
Yeah, we've got less than a minute to go before the lights go green. So plenty of opportunities for some of the drivers in the server to move up and down in the championship standings. And of course, don't forget that there is prize money on offer. Rick Cardle has already pretty much secured the top prize. However, the remaining 4 places inside the top 10 are up for grabs. So there we go. 78 drivers who have completed at least one round and scored 1 point shown there. So good stuff this year. It's 10 past the hour. We're due a restart, so hopefully the drivers will be asked to restart the race by Rony, and we will do this for one final time. And what a place to do it! And I wonder how many cars we're going to have left at the end, Owen.
Yeah, I'd imagine there'll be a reasonably high finishing rate. The attrition shouldn't be too bad. XFR, one of the middle ground cars that you can drive on the I believe it would be an S1 car at minimum, wouldn't it? But I always bought the S2 license, and then I got an S3 as a gift. So yeah, if you get paid license, then you're most likely going to end up in an XFR at some stage.
Yeah, the XFR is an S2 car, I believe. I think. Could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've considered like the differences between S1 and S2, etc. But I'm pretty sure it's S2. Okay. Okie dokie. We are still waiting for the restart. I think it's been ordered. I think we're going for a restart. So 16 cars, 30 laps, 200 kilometers there or thereabouts. Buckle up and enjoy. This is going to be a frantic run down to the first corner.
Yeah, a lot of drivers will want to put the 2023 champion to the sword and see if there's any way of getting the last win of 2023.
Indeed. Well, take it away for the start, gents, and enjoy.
Yeah, we shall race green and race clean for the rundown to turn 1 into the chicane. B2RM in second place has the best chance of deposing Ricardo their way now. Let's see exactly what happens. The World Class Lions in their pack should be following along very nicely, and of course Rony and Lorenzo have team honors as well. So M on the outside has pulled it off here, guys. Beautiful move.
Yeah, Mantas up into first place already as they go through the first chicane. And we're going to see some cars surely going through the tyres at the background. No, everybody managing to keep out of there, Miika. I thought someone was definitely going to go wide, but they didn't.
So a few cars on the grid, so they were everyone able to avoid that collision with the tires. But it's a very great start from and taking the lead positions from Cardle, who is of course behind him watching and closing up very close, and he's going for the inside line. It's a hard braking here. Right turn. Ooh, this is gonna be a drag race.
Yeah, this is last of the late breakers territory. M still has the racing line and he's able to block Rick's access to the sweeping action out of the chicane. Gonna hit those curves very heavily. I saw Michael having a terrible spill with the tire barrier, sending his car in a sort of somersault motion. Front engine car heading downwards into the ground and then flipping. He's avoided that mistake this time, and actually he's going to overtake Oil Burner for the second to last position. Or third to last position. Oh, Matt Juster's hit the curves really badly.
Yeah, and luckily he's been able to land it, so he will be able to continue on, but that was a scary moment, and that car will almost certainly end up in the pit lane for repairs. It's Mantas who leads as the cars enter the final sector of the first lap. Rick Cardle struggling to keep up at this point. I mean, I know the gap's not that big, but he's lost the position on the opening lap. Never something that you want to happen. And it's Asker who's currently holding up his teammate Joni Katila on this first lap. But the top four, Miika, breaking away a little bit.
This is a very long lap, so in like the span of one lap you can see the differences that start from here. Cardle, he's trying to keep up with Mantas, but Mantas is just going so fast. That's nice to see all those world-class Lions cars following each other very well through the places 3 to 5.
Well, we were joking in the commentary box before we went live that there are 4 of us in the commentary box tonight, and only 16 drivers, so that's 4 cars each to keep an eye on. And well, you've picked a long straw if you've picked the top 4, because it's easy to see what's going on there. But what else have we got going on? Jari, Katila, Oil Burner, and Michael in a fight down into turn 1.
Yeah, it was a good launch for Jari out of the final chicane, but now he's understeered into turn 1, and therefore the exit was lacking, so Michael gets his position back. Oil Burner has to watch, and Kata in the immediate background. We didn't see it on camera, but I spotted it. He got loose out of the chicane, wobbling left and right, but he caught the slides and resumes at the back of the queue in 16th. But Rick going for the race lead again. Has he learned his approach needs to be better to stop M from blocking him?
We were side on this straight last lap as well, and now as well, and Ricardo makes it. Oh, but he's got it. That allows Joni Katila could actually take the place as well, and Areska looking for it as well. Oh no, that's big for Ricardo.
Well, entertainment already. It's only been a lap, and Ricardo's almost lost the car into the tyre wall at the second chicane. Unbelievable stuff, and it's not due to finish here either. He's got a lot of work to do to get back to the front of the race. Mantas and Joni Katila now lead with a bit of a gap, and Asker drops to 4th.
Some lap here, to be honest, only lap 2 of the 30. And now Joni Katila has the opportunity to become the newest race leader. We'll follow along with that battle in a moment. Here's Zafralis' the Muli versus Lorenzo. Championship permutations here as Lorenzo wants to guard his teammate from any threat that Tamuli can possess.
Yeah, but look at this. Our battle for the top spot is now all back together again. pretty much. Asker just about clinging on to the back there. But it's Mantas who's decided to run around with the M pseudonym for a few rounds by now. But yeah, he's got a decent grasp on the lead of this race right now, as Rick Cardle does manage to close up to the back of Ioni, and it might be within critical distance for a slipstream, is it? Well, Ioni might also have a toe off of Mantas, so negates the benefit a little bit. But yeah, Ioni certainly in the slipstream, but not able to effect a pass down into turn 1. Fastest lap for Ioni Katila there, but it can't have been far off between the 4 of these guys. Wow, amazing through that first chicane. Absolutely full commitment from all 4 of them. And, well, it's easier for Mantas. It's more difficult to follow cars through there. And Ioni's starting to feel the effects of the aerodynamic loss as he follows the back of this brick through the high speed, well, flat out, essentially high downforce sections that we have here. But this car not generating too much downforce, really.
It does have its splitter and the rear wing, but it's not too reliant on its downforce. But there we go. P2 is back in Rick Cardle's hands. But we'll see now if the counter-attack is possible. Ioni has to pick his spot. No, he has to back out, I'm afraid. His father, Yari, has made his mandatory pit stop very early on, so he now occupies 16th.
Yeah, all eyes on this front 4 as Ioni Katila tries to get back that place from Rick, but Rick's on a bit of a move here. He's got past Ioni and is scampering off to try and catch back up to Mantas, who's not really been able to get away. So that's excellent stuff. That is going to bunch everyone right back up again. And hopefully Asker can bridge the gap by the time that happens. One thing of note, gents, is they are pushing very, 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 very hard at the beginning, and the front tyres aren't going to enjoy that.
They might run into some trouble with the tyres sooner or later, but of course for the entertainment it doesn't it's not a bad thing, but let's hope they don't ruin their races too much with that.
Yeah, I suppose the risk of having to pit too early. I know in previous XLs, the strategy game, Ioni Katila, I think, mastered it previously. He was able to pit at the right time and then push to the finish, whereas staying out too long proved ineffective. I think it was the Kyoto round. That came down to strategy. But in this case, if they're all just pushing equally hard, then they may just have to mix and match strategies within 1 or 2 laps of each other. But yeah, still a long way to go. It's only lap 4 now.
Yeah, Rick Cardle steals away the fastest lap. It bounced around a few people there, but it goes back to Rick Cardle as they head off into lap number 4. And yeah, Rick's doing a good job to bridge the gap. A little bit awkward through there, through the first chicane. But nonetheless, catching up to the back of our race leader. And yeah, this is going to be an intense battle for the lead here. The top 3 now together. Asker struggling slightly now to catch up. He's lost the slipstream, and it's going to be difficult to bridge that gap, especially as his tyres undoubtedly start to reach maximum temperature. The heat peak is quite early in this.
Yeah, that is true. The tyres are rather small in diameter, I suppose. Yeah, the R4s at the front goes to show, in the case of Mantas, how hard he has to work, whereas Cardle has R3s at the front. So yeah, it seems like Mantas and Arska are the ones in agreement. They want to go with the harder compound at the front, whereas Rick and Ioni have the R3s, so they're going to try and push a little bit harder for that early gain.
Absolutely. But yeah, Asker's dropped back a lot on this lap already. Maybe a mistake, or are those front tyres starting to punish him, I wonder. We will keep you updated on all the gaps, but it looks like this is pretty much the closest fight between anyone on track. We've got Lorenzo and Johnny SVK in a fight. We've got Rony and Thamuli fairly close together, but these guys at the front, that's where the action is between Rick Cardle and Ioni Katila. And it doesn't get enough credit, this car. It is fantastic looking.
go on board and we'll see exactly how this car behaves itself under high loads and heavy braking. We'll see now into the third to last corners before the chicane. Yeah, you can see it will adapt very quickly to your actions. You can see a lot of wheel movement, just making the right adjustments here with Yoni, and then he can attack with full commitment into the chicane. No threat of slowing down there. So yeah, the car will do it at once. Great acceleration even for the modest engine size compared to other vehicles we have on the selection. So yeah, we'll see now another attack of the chicane, getting onto two wheels there. Rick Cardle there, beautiful stuff.
The car is, even though it can be tricky to get very fast with it, it's like fairly consistent to drive in the end, which makes it easy to get into like good hard battles with the car.
Fantastic wide there, Miika. Sorry to interrupt. And that may
he's
cost
going to get
him.
punished.
Yeah, Yoni can't attack, unfortunately. It's down to Rick with his exit. Oh, that's beautiful. I hugged that Armco to the finest margin and nailed his exit.
Yeah, Rick Cardle takes back the lead, and will Mantas lose another place just before the chicane? No, surely not. This will allow Rick to run away. Wow, they all take very different lines through there. The car's wobbling around every which way as Mantas tries just to slow Rick Cardle down, fading to the outside, which is an unusual position to put your car. But look how close they are. I mean, this is unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, Rick kind of lost it a little bit on the chicane. He lost some time there. Mantas went much quicker through it, so that of course negated the gap that formed on the straight floor. But now it's Joni Kalila just on the right, the back of Mantas, and yeah, he's looking for any spot to put his car side to side with him.
Well, Mantas did a great job of defending and spotting his brakes there, but I am beginning to see a trend that Rick Cardle may just be able to walk away with this now, as Joni Katila piles on the pressure onto the back of Mantas. And look, Asker's coming back into it as well. So our top four is turning into a, three groups at the moment. Where's Joni going to go for it? Probably the home straight if he can stay this close. Let's see how he manages it out of the final chicane. He's dropped back a little bit. Mantas has got a good run, and I think he'll be safe into turn one, or will he? Joni has a bit of overspeed.
Mantas went just a bit wide, got the grass just a tiny bit, so that might have affected his straight line speed.
Oh, Mantas gave him room.
Yeah, Joni comes right inside, and he can't pull away and on the side of Mantas. Has to yield on the chicane because that's a very dangerous place to go side to side.
Yeah, this is the closest pair on the track, and there couldn't be many others much closer than this. As two of them, Mantas and Asker, both dropping at least one wheel over the dirt, and this is Joni's chance up the inside. He has to go late on the brakes. Meanwhile, Rick Cardle is just checking out. Mantas able to hold the power around the outside. That's lovely. He has to go defensive now, surely, because Joni Katila's close enough for a run, is he? Yeah, I think he could go for it if he wanted to. It'd be brave. No, he's going to stay back for sure. Just too risky at this point. Brilliant shot there.
Smart driver, and he picks his fights very well. He doesn't take extra risks usually. But of course, when he has the pace, he will take the overtakes as well. And it seems it will happen soon here as well. He seems to have quite a bit of more pace than Mantas right now. He's just waiting for the right opportunity.
Meanwhile, it's your teammate Miika going up against Rony. He's on the inside. Weirdly, not the best position to be in going through there. As we've got Joni Katila making a move up the inside of Mantas. It's not going to work out though, because Mantas has the inside It turns into the outside, but he has the overspeed and has it covered off. And look how far Rick Cardle has checked out in the distance now, up to almost, well, just over 1.5 seconds. That time will be.
So Rick Cardle's enjoying this. He's being able to pull away because the other guys behind him are fighting, and that's also allowing Arska to creep up closer and maybe join this battle anytime soon.
Yeah, we'll have to switch away briefly because we've got Rony and Thamuli side by side. This could be fireworks as we head into the final sector, and it's Thamuli who will have the advantage there. But as we come on to the start-finish straight, there goes Rick Cardle just off the right of your shot now. And then Mantas has got a good exit too. Arska runs too wide and spits up all sorts of dirt and will lose a ton of time to his teammates and Mantas there. And Rony is going for another move on Thamuli here. Nope, decides better of it.
Yeah, he had a little bit of slipstream on the straight, but not just too enough. He was just a bit too far away.
Oh my goodness! Michael's crashed at the final chicane, right in front of Mad Jester, and he's
just missed pit entry. He's just missed pit entry.
He could go just around the wall.
He went the wrong way. Well, fair play. I mean, it would have been a 6.5 kilometer drive if he hadn't have done that, and that would have been brutal. As Mantas and Yoni Katsila side by side yet again, and Mantas able to hold the outside again. Complete carbon copy of what happened before, and now will Yoni try and do the move before the chicane? Has he even got the chance to?
It's a bit too far.
Yeah, it's so tempting to do it, but so risky. Better to do it on the exit, and Mantas all sorts of out of shape there, and now Yoni forced to the outside, nowhere to go, and Mantas is undoubtedly now holding both of these two up and allowing Rick Cardle to run away. Over a second gained on the previous lap by Rick Cardle. Almost 1.5 seconds.
Mantas is just driving very defensive, and he's costing a lot of time here. But of course, he wants to stay on the second place. He doesn't want to yield it.
Yeah, why should he? I mean, he's got it on merit. So there we are. As Yoni will have another go. Yoni doesn't need to be asked twice. If the opportunity presents itself, he will just go for it, generally. And I'm sure, growing in his mind, is the fact that Rick Cardle is about to become invisible ahead. He's that far ahead, 3 seconds already. Doesn't take much battling to lose a lot of time. And honestly, I thought Arska would have made more use of this, but seems to be struggling himself a little bit.
Oh, and Lorenzo is out of the race. He's spectated. Didn't spot why. Oh, Mad Jester's rolled it.
Oh,
so
wow, they're dropping like 5
in a few seconds here. So now the attrition rate is rising dramatically. 2 drivers out.
Yeah, Lorenzo and Mad Jester. Mad Jester already had been over on his roof and landed once already in this race, but not so lucky the second time. Not 9 lives for him, as we have to turn the cameras back to Yoni. Now, with 16 cars, lads, I feared this was going to be a bit dull, but we were almost a third through the race, and we've had non-stop action. And here we go, door banging through turn 1.
Yeah, and that's Yoni Katila now. He knows he's got a car underneath him that will produce the strong lap times that will be on par with Rick at the very least. So if he does break free on this lap, then yeah, that'll be a one to regret for Mantas. Oh, he's using all the gravel there, and he just about held on. So maybe Mantas can. As a matter of fact, he's got to go for it. Yeah,
he'll get away otherwise. Mantas has to go for it. He's got to try and slow Yoni down, and that's a great move. Mantas was able to hold the outside line around that corner twice in the past, but he's managed to do Yoni Katila for a dummy there, and Yoni won't go for the move back. So that's a fantastic send there from Mantas. Fair play to Yoni for leaving him the space, but that's a nice move, and unstable through the chicane. Rick Cardle now 4 seconds in the lead because of this, but I don't care anymore. That's brilliant stuff from Mantas.
It's a very good comeback. Mantas, he could have lost that very badly after he was overtaken, but getting the place back so soon, it just profits him very much. Not getting fed to Arska quite yet.
Yeah, as the drivers make their way round to the back part of the circuit, the final sector looms. It's Mantas actually with a little bit of a gap over Ioni. These two have been pushing so hard. I wouldn't be surprised if they have tyre trouble later on. But surprisingly, Asker just hasn't been able to make anything of this, and just kind of sitting there in P4, not really able to damage the two ahead of him.
Yes, front tyres in particular have gone cold, as they are the R4 harder compound. So you may want to go far into this stint to have any chance, but he is keeping it slow and steady, whereas the battlers in front of him will have cost each other a few hundredths and few tenths every now and again. So yeah, this is Arska. Maybe it's his time to shine, get a move on, push those tyres a little bit, and now he can actually get a slipstream from his teammate.
Yeah, well, Ioni nowhere near to the back of Mantas, that's for sure. So yeah, potentially just suffering with the tyre heat now. Has to try and calm it down. They are slowly reeling in Rickardle after they've all settled down a bit. But we'll keep an eye on the gap. 3.77 currently. Let's see if I'm talking out of the toilet, because we'll have to see. And Mantas has hit the grass, and Ioni just slips through, and so does Asker.
Oh,
so
wow.
Unforced error there. Ioni hit the wall,
Asker's
through.
Yeah,
okay.
There we go. He's picked his timing very, very efficiently. And for the first time all race long, it is Arska P2.
Yeah, I mean, I said he wasn't really catching up, but you don't need to be, really, do you? You just have to be there to capitalise on the errors of your opponents, and that's exactly what he's done.
Now he's got to try and avoid the mistakes of Mantas and Ioni by going offline and costing himself time, and therefore the ability to defend his racing line. So yeah, this is a gilt-edged opportunity for Arska to make second place his own if he can utilise what may be a tyre advantage. I don't know for sure. Yeah, he has kept them cold, so he could possibly heat them up now and gain some time.
Yeah, I mean, almost certainly better tyre life. The two ahead of him were pushing like crazy, as we've got our first pit stop that we know of. Kata into the pit lane from P13. The drivers do need to make a 10-second mandatory pit stop. I'm hearing that Michael and Yari have made stops. Oh,
it's a 9.31 for Kata, so he's got to pit again.
Well, time penalty probably.
Mandatory. Yeah.
You can opt to take a time penalty instead, which is probably worth it in that case. Only 7/10 of a second, and you can't really stop for less than that. As Rickardle plows on, 6 seconds essentially ahead of anyone else. And what would you pair up alongside Rickardle, Owen?
Pair up.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where I was going with that one. I'm sorry, I left you a bit of I threw the ball in the air and didn't really give you any direction. Oh, Ioni's rolled it. Let's see what happened.
Ooh.
And he's being pushed along by Mantas. Oh, wow. Mantas is going to stop. Oh, I think
that's very sporting. Very sporting, but it's dismissed. He's out of the race.
I think Mantas was waiting in case he needed to be pushed upright, but Ioni Katila out at the final chicane.
I don't know if Mantas had played any role on that why Ioni rolled, or if it was just a curb. But anyway, great sport from Mantas trying to help out the opponent to not lose the opponent, so you'd have more fun to the race.
Yeah, a completely unforced error, and now thanks to Mantas waiting a little bit to help Ioni out, Asker has got an absolutely massive gap over Mantas. It's like 7 seconds.
I just said it to the Twitch chat. There should be a 5-second goodwill sort of boost to Mantas's time. So take 5 seconds out of his final time as he tried to save his opponent's race, but obviously it wasn't to be. So yeah, he's kind of on his own, and Tamuli potentially could capitalize completely on this. And yeah, Mantas loose in the chicane, but in fairness, Tamuli was as well. So the podium battle is completely blown open. Rony could even get there, and Teemu Soini's there. So yeah, a lot could happen in another few laps, guys.
Yeah, don't look away because someone might bottle it and affect the outcome of the race. Mantas's car looking particularly bruised at this point on the left side. Ricciardo's also, as we've got Thamuli and Rony really, really close together. In fact, we've got who've we got in the background there? We've got Teemu Soini, and Rony is trying to go around the outside, and he's made that work quite well. Soini, has to check up completely there. I don't think he expected how slowly Thamuli would be approaching the corner. Thamuli's got big damage on the left rear. And look, you can see how much the car's crabbing around. Where's he picked that up from?
No idea, but he's struggling a lot. He's losing a lot of time here. Well, that allows Rony to be the one to challenge for the podium next. And maybe Soini will get past here soon as well.
Yeah, I mean, Thamuli has to come into the pit lane. Not really sure where you pick up damage like that. Unusual one, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to bring JSK, Rags. Furtive Racing's Rags is going to be in contention as well. I haven't had an opportunity to speak about him. Yeah, he will inherit 7th place as Thamuli needs urgent repairs.
Yeah, that's going to drop Thamuli way down the order, especially if he repairs damage as well. Oscar looking good, 6.4 seconds off the lead. And including repair damage there, Owen, only 11 point something seconds for Thamuli.
Yeah, that's actually it's manageable. It's within the 10-second mandatory, so it's as if he made a scheduled pit stop. So yeah, that's really, really helpful, and the car is fresh and raring to go.
Yeah, and comparing to that 10 seconds, he's only lost out like 1 second, so it's very much doable. He can challenge Rony pretty well if he keeps up good pace here.
Oh no, Rags! Oh, his day is in tatters now. He's rolled it at the fast chicane. That'll mean he'll need to pit for repairs.
You think?
Oh yeah, well, obviously.
It seems like that.
The driver's helmet is cropping out of the roof. So yeah, that's another.
I mean, the rear view mirror is causing somewhat of an obstruction there as well.
Yeah, there's no way to see out of the cockpit camera whatsoever. The eye line.
Look at the dashboard.
Yeah,
that's in better days. Well, that'll be an amazing pit stop if the mechanics can sort that out. If Riggs can manage to get it round to the pits, but yeah, I think that one's due a service. Pretty flat.
Just throw a bit of a hammer to the car and just punch it back together.
Yeah, that'll buff out. As Ricciardo starts lap 12 then, with a 6.5 second lead over Oscar. Ricciardo dominant today as he has been at certain moments throughout the championship. He's not had it all his own way. Gabor was pretty close to him in some of the races, getting his own fair share of victories. And Ricciardo looks to be going the right way about taking yet another RTFR XL victory. Only 12 laps in after this one. Pretty early to say. And just 13 cars remain. We've lost 3 cars to various incidents. As Mantas takes the fastest lap, Ricciardo drops a wheel and heads up behind our back marker. I think that is Kata.
Yeah, Kata kind of on his own for the time being, although Yari is about 5 or 6 seconds clear for position, so maybe a chance. It's 4.92 to be exact. So yeah, there's a chance for Kata to get off the end of the list and go up a place, but yeah, it's a long way to go. But in fairness to Rags, he's probably satisfied he can drive with some sort of camera view because he has not pitted for repairs.
Yeah, an odd choice that. We joked about it, but he's decided that no, the car's absolutely fine. It's tis but a scratch, just cosmetics. Even though it's definitely a little bit more than that.
Maybe it's just the new aerodynamic design helping him out.
Well, he gets back through the corner where he lost it last lap round, but no less brave. Absolutely sending it through there.
I see Tamuli's lap time since he took his pit stop, his split just there is actually slower than what Riggs managed to achieve, so he needs to get a little bit more momentum back. So that is a case of, yeah, it's a real shame to have had that toe link become damaged. So yeah, it is going to be a long way back for Tamuli and his bid to finish potentially fourth. That would be the best case scenario as of right now. But Teemu Soini in P5 at the moment, he won't want to miss out on this opportunity for one of his best results of the entire year. Fastest lap there by Mantas, so he's not quitting by any means. So yeah, excellent job there. 2 minutes 34.98. And just as I say, Mantas, his next attempt has ended. Well, it's still going, of course, but he made a mistake in turn 4, hit the curbs, and slid two-wheeled onto the grass before rejoining. So yeah, a bit of a mistake there.
He's ended the phase that he's pushing so hard. Well, it brought him the fastest lap, but let's hope he can keep consistent and not make too many mistakes, so he could capitalize on Arska maybe later on.
Riggs has called it a day, and Mantas loses it almost into the wall. Goes two wheels and tries to catch it, but slams the A-pillar straight into the tyre barrier there. Has that given him any suspension damage, I wonder? It can't have done him any good at all. But yeah, Riggs out. That's a surprise. Although, you know, I think that car could have just been a fairly straightforward repair. But anyway.
Just as I said about Mantas' consistency, well, that doesn't bring any good news.
Not now, it doesn't. Everybody else is on the same playing field.
Might be 10% damage, but not more than that. I think he got away with it.
Ricardo on the first position, he's keeping quite a decent pace going on. His last lap was 2:35 and 5, whereas his best lap is 2:35 and 3. So he's not too far away from his pace. He's keeping it consistent, just chilling going around the track and trying to make sure he will stay on the top position. Meanwhile, Arska is following him by 7.5 seconds around. He's doing almost as fast pace as Ricardo, so nothing really happening between those two. And also we got Mantas on third place, which we saw he got a fastest lap and then immediately did 2 mistakes on the following lap. So well, let's see if this lap will be any better.
Hopefully he's got it out of the system now. Following along with him in the chicane. Yeah, he does attack it forcibly, but he's alright, just a little slide. So Mantas will carry on this lap around. Yeah, in fairness, the closest battle I can find, it's Soini. He's got a second and a half of an advantage over Johnny SVK. We'll see if that can be reduced anytime soon.
Johnny SVK is catching up to the back of Teemu Soini, slowly but surely. It's happening. Galactic time scales, but happening nonetheless. And that could develop later on. But it's Rick Cardle now with an 8.1 second lead over everybody else after just 44 laps. Impressive stuff. Sorry, 14 laps, I can't count.
Yeah, 44 laps on this track. It would be quite a bit of something.
Yeah, that would be almost 2 hours.
Yeah, Mantas did around equal pace comparing to Alaska, so their gap it's staying there around the same hood. Anyway, Rony meanwhile being a little bit slower on the 4th place and not really catching up for the podium fight. And well, neither is Teemu Soini, even though he was a couple of tenths faster than Rony, but they're still quite far off the pace of the top 3.
Few drivers setting personal bests in the session. Soini 2:36.97 and Tamuli with a 2:36.5. So yeah, we have a spinner in around the chicane. It might have been Hermani. Yeah, I think Hermani was slow. So yeah, that means Jari Katila is going to cut the gap to him. And now blue flags are requested of Hermani there, so he's lost even more time. So Jari will get the heave-ho and make sure he takes advantage of this opening. But still, with Hermani to pit, it is of course elementary that Jari should make it through for position at some stage. Now Jari being lapped himself by Mantas, so he can perhaps use Mantas as a little bit of a reference point, seeing as he's kept very close to the back of the Born to Race car, and yeah, that will give Hermani even more thinking to do. We'll compare lap times just as the two drivers are set to cross the line, so I'd imagine this is a over 3 minute lap time for Hermani, and Jari 2 minutes 42, so he's cut a hefty gap, 20 seconds in just one lap. So is no more of that, please.
You can't really afford another one of those.
Yes.
Has to keep it clean.
Precisely.
So does anyone else? We've seen how bad it can go, and it goes wrong. We've got a couple of cars going off and having to end the race. We got 12 cars left which is not too much, but it's still something.
Yeah, it's enough to cause plenty of drama still. Sure, we've got time left for some attrition. We're only halfway through the race, of course, and yeah, that is not what some of the drivers are going to be wanting to hear. Rick Cardle himself has got a lot of damage on that car. That happened pretty much straight away. But you know, it's going to be upsetting something in his drive. He has a small amount of suspension damage. It's not really going to cause him too much problem, but it all adds up, and mistakes do tend to breed mistakes here. You don't have to take too much extra curb to find yourself careering towards a tyre wall or a bit of rock uncontrollably. And it's about this point in the broadcast where we normally say, well, if you want to join us for the next RTFR XL, you can. Well, actually, the next RTFR XL will be in 2024. So, yeah, we're having a bit of a... well, it's another month for RTFR XL, but a completely brand new series is going to be starting, or season, rather, is going to be starting, as there we go.
Oh, Rick!
Oh,
QED. That's how you do it. That's how you lose a race. Taking just a tiny bit too much of the curb. It's not over yet, boys, because that can happen to anybody, including our race leader and championship
we still
winner.
got plenty of race to go. We're just barely over like halfway, so there's so much that can happen towards the end of the race. And we still got pit stops coming, as we see Michael doing his pit stop right now.
Yeah, that's Michael's second pit stop, as you can see from that graphic, which is major damage going on. So potentially picked up an incident that we didn't spot, even though there are 12 cars and only 3 of them to watch each. Come on, we need to do better than that. Oh well.
Of course, we're all watching Rick Cardle.
Exactly, we're all
He's
watching
the
Rick bottle it.
entertaining guy.
Yeah. Well, I do wonder where we are going to see all the drivers finish this one. Oscar is some distance back, 7 seconds now from Rick Cardle. Mantas another 7 seconds, and Mantas just got a fastest lap of the race. So that's interesting. 3 fastest sectors to him. Rick Cardle will see that and will try to respond, but can he do it? Can his car cope with that speed?
Yeah, he knows he's got to make up for the small, well, for what they could have been. There were very, very small errors.
I did wonder where you were going with that one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I had to readjust on the fly there. So they could have been enormous race-ending crashes.
I wonder where you were going with that one as well.
Kept the car going. So now he's got to push and gain all that time back and then some. So yeah, he's on the right path again.
Mantas selecting to avoid that curb on the inside of this really, really fast right-hander. It's absolutely, well, almost flat out in this car, even though there's not really much in the way of any downforce. There's plenty of mechanical grip if you get the car poised nicely. And this final sector is really, really nice in the XFR. It doesn't look like it would be the car that would kind of float between corner to corner, but when you get this car on the edge, it really can just float around the track. It's fantastic. Oh, we've got Harmon off in the grass. So mistake there into the braking zone by the looks of it. And Michael has emerged from the pit lane after his stop just behind Jari Katila. But Jari has also stopped, so this is a fair fight to the end now. So these two are back at it. Fairly evenly matched drivers. On his day, Michael can be quicker. On his day, Jari can be quicker. So we will see what happens here.
Yeah, here we go. Jari has to try and get a move on. He was a bit slower out of the hairpin. looks more comfortable through the chicane, though. Yeah, Michael, he definitely knows the speed is more leaning in his car, whereas Yari's just been setting solid lap times, but it does mean that Michael has an opening on the inside line heading into turns 8 through 9. Here we go. Maybe Yari puts up a big defense and Michael wouldn't bite, so he's going to hang back, maybe wait a little bit longer. Let's see how these cars build up their speed in comparison to one another.
Yeah, it almost looked like Michael went too wide and cost himself quite a bit of time there. Unusual. And
there's the somersaults, and they both distracted each other.
Well, that was synchronized.
There's the most unusual pass of the entire year.
Well, the way that Yari Kitsuda went straight through the tyres reminds me of the end of the GTI Thursday trailer, where the XFG goes straight through the same thing as who's that going through? Is that Soini going through?
Yeah, Timo.
Wow, that was quite the pirouette. Oh, yeah, Yari's going to be out of this. If he gets stuck in there, it's game over. He's got to keep his foot planted on the loud pedal. And well, that was a scary moment for him.
Yeah, his suspension on the rear left is destroyed. The vertical bar is fully red, so that will be an urgent pit stop, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no shocks on that machine at all, and he's going to have to be careful through here.
No. Yeah. Oh, he's going to feel that one.
He'll feel that one in the morning, Eoin.
Yes.
I seem to remember that was from a television advert years ago, but I can't remember which one. Was it Foster's? I don't even know.
Oh my goodness, I don't know either. The Mooley's through, and then Hermione's going to get the position back that he previously had to concede. So, round he goes. That's a shame.
There's not a lot of the lap left, but with that car, it's a long way to the pit lane. Poor Yari.
Yeah, for reference, Rick Cardle is going onto the overpass, and he is a lap ahead of Yari, so that's 1.5 laps. And oh wow, this is going to be an uncomfortable final sector for him. Really struggling. I mean, where is Kata on the lap? Kata could gain a place here.
Yeah, Kata's on the bridge. Here he comes, almost there.
Yeah, Rony's gone in the pit lane as well. This is for what presumably is a scheduled pit stop. And off he goes again in a second, I think. No? Yeah,
also,
taking his time.
Something's happened to Rony before, because he was fourth before, but just before his pit stop he was ahead of Temli, so he had lost places to Soinen and Johnny Esvika at some point. I wonder what's been going on with Rony's race.
Manny's in the pit lane as well after certain dramas that have befallen him. He's changing 3 tyres on his car, which is an unusual number of... 2 tyres. Changing the front 2 tyres, R4 to R3 for him. As Ricardo dropping wheels on the grass again, keeping us on the edge of our seats here. He has absolutely no reason to push this hard, but I guess he's just going for glory and doesn't really care what happens.
He's just enjoying his time.
Yeah, and why not?
It doesn't really matter if he loses this race. He just wants to go fast.
No, he is this season's champion. So yeah, this is just an excuse to show off and enjoy his Tuesday evening, driving around Fern Bay in an underrated car, honestly. We don't see it too often. But the XFR is a brilliantly nostalgic car, I feel.
Yeah, it certainly brings out the competition in the drivers. It's got the speed, but it is still very welcoming, I suppose. It won't take you apart if you're giving it your best shot. So yeah, here it comes, a battle. Well, it says lapping. Excuse me, Johnny is lapping Michael. But yeah, they sort of know each other plenty in previous events. So yeah, I suppose it's a shame that it's not for position this time around. And Arska concedes P2 to have a mandatory pit stop.
Yeah, Oscar's changing tyres. So what does that mean? Does that mean he feels as though they're not going to make it? I guess so.
Yeah, the back tires are changed. He's happy with his R4s, I think.
Yeah, I mean R4s get pretty chilly at the end of a stint, so maybe it's just a case of he won't be able to keep it on the road if he doesn't change. Not generating too much heat through a set of R4s here. You need far more relentless track for that. Even though this is pretty relentless, it's just not high speed, not high downforce car. So. Ten laps to go at the end of this one for Rick Cardle, who, as we were talking about, just seems to be enjoying himself. He's got 12.1 seconds ahead of Mantas for Born to Race. But nice to see 3 separate teams represented on the podium. And World Class Lines, of course, sponsoring both RTFR and RTFR XL again in 2023. We're very grateful for their generosity, of course. Providing a prize fund to incentivise competition. Always healthy. I think I got one of the... anyway.
Looking at the differences here, we remember, I think Soini and Johnny SVK both haven't been on the pits yet. And Harmon is only 22 seconds off Soini, so that could be some close battle after the pit stops. There's still plenty of stuff to come later on the race. Mantas has brought it to the pits. It's his scheduled pit stop, and let's see how fast it will be. Will he aim for exactly to the 10 seconds?
Jari Katilla getting in the way somewhat of Rick Cardle there. Rick had to get on the brakes to avoid, well, not even avoid, there was actually contact, and Jari, for some reason, it was like racing him. Unbelievable. There you go. Don't see that every day.
Yeah, he hasn't get the race too much today, so he's got the urge to race so bad. Yeah, after Mantas' pit stop, Oscar pulled up very close behind him, and they're almost toe-to-toe here. Oscar looking if he can squeeze closer and maybe past Mantas. Cardle still pushing those under 236 laps on the first position. not being contested really. Mantas being second, but Mantas being contested by Arska. They're still pretty close, but let's see how their lap times will compare. If Arska has made any progress getting towards Mantas. As they come to the start-finish line, the timeline is about here, which is 2:38.79 for Mantas and 2:36.26 for Arska, so that's quite a bit of difference. But I believe Mantas just came out of the pits last lap, so that must have affected the second or two.
Yeah, the gap just over 1.2 seconds, or just under rather, as Johnny SVK goes into the pit lane from P5. Tyres and fuel going onto that car, and he goes away again. In the Leighton House livery.
Yeah.
And comes out ahead of Mr. Kronpush.
That's handy to know, but yeah, Tamuli is probably more motivated to follow Rony's progress with the championship. Obviously, it's not enough, I don't think, unless something dramatic were to happen, then Tamuli would make serious gains. But Mantas! Oh no!
Oh, what's happened to Mantas?
Well, driving the wrong way down the road, we were looking at the back of his car, but seeing the front, unusually. So getting the chicane all wrong.
Not only he lost the place to Arska, but Soini went through as well.
Well, Soini pitted.
But Soini hasn't.
Yeah, Soini
he hasn't pitted yet. Yeah.
I was going to say that would be amazing. Oh wow. Well, still, Arska gets through, and that could be crucial. Arska could have P2 wrapped up here with only 8 laps to go at the end of this one. Yeah, that's probably too big a gap to overcome, even if Mantas was doing the pace of Rick Cardle and more, I reckon.
Yeah, Arska can really just chill out and
Rick Cardle to the pits.
Be consistent. There we go, Rick Cardle.
He doesn't have to push. He doesn't have to take any risks here, and he can be as smooth as he wants. He doesn't even bother to repair damage. Just puts some new tyres on and gets some fuel. Assumedly, the R4s going back on. A fresh set of those will do just nicely. Oh, Rick's on R3s. There we go. So heading to the end of the pit lane, he goes and joins in plenty of clean air. Arska not even on the home straight.
Yeah, that's about the one straight in between them. Arska was exiting the last corner, whereas Ricardo was entering the first turn.
Soini goes into the pit lane, and Mantas will streak past with a growing number of dents and curves that weren't in the original XFG, XFR blueprints. And Soini also goes for some fuel and new tyres. And
Hamilton just getting past Soini as Soini exits the pit. So that will be almost guaranteed P4 for the Hamilton right now, unless he makes some mistakes, which we of course hope he doesn't.
Seems like Mantas is on the ragged edge here. When he made the mistakes previously where he went onto 2 wheels, it seemed like he knew what the task was and he'd maximize, but now unfortunately he's made another mistake. So it may be just too much to overcome at this stage, but still P3 at the moment. It's nothing to be exceptionally worried about, but yeah, it's a case of what if for Mantas tonight.
Up over the curves, he's still pushing them pretty hard.
As Eoin said, the what if always a what if, but this is the current situation we're actually in, which has brought Mantas to 3rd place. Not very favorable. He had a good start. He was leading for a good while. Then Ricardo was able to overtake, and then he went on to battle Joni Katila for a long time for the second place, and yeah, he's done some mistakes. Not very perfect race for him, but I guess he'll take the podium nonetheless.
Yeah, good pace from Asker as Cutter has rolled it and he's in the long stuff. He's in the grass, so that's going to be a retirement almost certainly. You can barely see the car there through the tall grass, but he is in there, probably causing yellow flags for the drivers who are probably quite confused as to where the car is. How do you end up in there?
That's a very good question.
Must got wide on the exit originally.
Well, anyway, it's happened. And that will be a retirement almost certainly. I mean, I don't know why Kata is still sat there, but anyway. No real urgency to leave, I guess. As Rick Cardle is on lap 24. 6 to go at the end of this one. Around about 15 minutes of racing to go here. And, well, in terms of the micro battles that are going on, it's Rony making small gains on Johnny SVK. Asker and Mantas are just far too far apart to really predict at the moment, and big gaps elsewhere. Soini and Thamuli relatively close together, but I think Thamuli has the measure of Soini at this stage. But Rony is catching up to the back of Johnny SVK, MRC's new hire.
Yeah, that sixth position is all rims of possibility for Rony, and that all the places that he could gain, they of course would help him out, making sure that he will stay fourth on the points as he is currently right now. But even though if we finish on these positions, there shouldn't be enough gap for Thamuli to catch him up on the points.
If you're just joining us, welcome to the final round of RTFR XL for 2023. We've had 12 rounds of this sort of racing, about 1 hour and 20 minutes ish, every one Tuesday every single month to sit alongside the regular fortnightly RTFR. And yeah, it's Rick Cardle who leads the way tonight, as he already has the championship to his name. 16 cars started. We currently have 12 runners, although one of them, Kata, is in the long grass on his side, not able to move, and will take no further part in racing action this evening. We're watching Rony, who puts a tremendous amount of effort into the events. It's not just the on-the-day running and the planning and all the graphics that he has to do and all the posters and whatnot. He does a full write-up after each and every round and puts that on the LFS forum. And not only that, he keeps a meticulous list of statistics, and he knows everything there is to know about pretty much every race that's ever been in the very long history of RTFR and RTFR XL.
Yeah, I suppose it's easier to keep track of the numbers in XL because it's 12 a year, and 12 times 7 is 84. So it's 7 years worth of XL actions, yeah, and that's just the XL edition. He's got 200 and nearly 300 regular RTFRs to keep in the archives as well. So there you go.
Wow, I mean, that was pretty quick math then, but Owen, I hadn't even done the calculations.
To make
there
sure.
you go, 7 years exactly. Yeah. I guess if it's been every month, that's fair enough. We should have mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Rony knows about it, but he certainly wasn't the one to tell us that this was 7 years. So the next one should be the anniversary, the 85th, which will be in January.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he didn't say anything. It's not important because it's not the anniversary.
No,
it is
it's
to us.
Completion of another season.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a lot of people owe a debt of gratitude to Rony and the Race Queen team for providing entertainment on every single Tuesday of the month. Every single Tuesday of the year, there is a Race Queen event happening in some way, shape, or form. Whether that be their mod championship, XL, or RTFR. It just seems to be a combination that works, and well, hopefully it continues into the new year. And something that's almost certainly continuing into the new year is Rick Cardle's pace as he crosses start finish to make it 5 to go. Unrelenting at the moment. Not infallible though. He made a couple of big errors while we've been watching him tonight. Oh god, he really is taking no liberties through the first chicane.
He's really not easing up. He's just pushing as hard as he can. I mean, at this rate, imagine if he just like bins it on the last lap or something.
I wouldn't want to have that happen now, to be honest. It's been another wonderful effort here for Rick, and it will sign off his championship year in the best possible terms. It just needs to hang on in there for 5 more laps, and he's got it.
.6 seconds now, the gap to Oscar, and 17 seconds back to Mantas. And while Rony is still around about 2 seconds off Johnny SVK, it's frustrating that gap's just not coming down to give us a little bit of excitement at the end of this race. But at the end of the day, it's not too bad for us to just sit back and enjoy the final moments of racing in RTFR this year. It's been an intense year, as I'm sure you can all appreciate. So it's nice to have a somewhat subdued end to the season.
Rarely get the reaction chill like this while broadcasting. Usually there's a lot of stuff happening almost all the time, so you have to be on the edge, just looking everywhere all the time. But for now, it's just we're on a very much like waiting phase, so there's really not much to think about. We're just chilling out, having a good time here, and hope you are as well.
Now, the way that Rony could potentially snatch 6th place away could be the fact that traffic is in their vicinity, and it is Miika, but he actually dives into the pit lane again, so that undoes my point straight away.
He's got damage. Yeah, he had damage.
Yeah, repairs damage. Yeah, he can just leave as soon as his pit crew instructs him to do so. He is well above 10 seconds mandatory.
Well, his pit crew weren't even waiting for him. They're sick of him. They've gone in the garage. Repair your own car. Rick Cardle. Oh. Yeah, no problem. Kata's still in the grass there, look.
You still have to set those blistering Split times, you should be on target for another 2 minutes 35, maybe 2:36 if the tires are starting to creak on him. Yeah, maybe a little bit of wear on the rear right, but it's still within the expected wear, so I wouldn't sense any concern on the face of the race leader. Arska 11 seconds behind now, you can see on the leaderboard, and Mantas another 15 or so seconds behind Arska, so yeah, it's 16 seconds, so my bad. So here we go, Cardle with the 3 to go signal coming up very soon. Let's see what this lap time is. It should be 2 minutes 36.1, so yeah, he's on target, no threat. Just has to achieve it a few more times, and he's victorious on his coronation, I suppose. Rony's lost a lot of time to Johnny this last lap, 2 seconds to be precise, so yeah, something did go against the grain, I'm afraid, there for Rony. And one driver is lagging. I can't which one is probably...
It's me, Owen.
Oh, it's you, is it?
Yeah, it's actually me.
Oh, okay, wow.
Unusual, but there we go. Doesn't happen that often. Sorry for throwing you off. It was actually me.
Okay.
Keep causing you some unnecessary panic.
Oh well, it happens.
Does indeed.
We're checking out Soini and his potential battle for 4th place. So the split times show, and they're fairly even this lap, but previously it looked like Timu had made a lot of time up. We'll see now as that's Mantas putting Yari another lap down, so yeah, it's a shame. Yanni retired a good while ago. That would have added a little bit extra to this conclusion, but Arska and Mantas won't be complaining because they occupy the podium positions heading towards the signal for 2 to go. Arska has actually gained a lot of lap time. He's put in a splendid fastest lap at 2 minutes 34.6. So yeah, this is one last hurrah for Arska. With a sensational lap time.
Yeah, we can't overstate how good a performance this has been from Arska, really. If you forget about Ricciardo for a minute, the pace he's been putting on here is very good. It's less than 10 seconds. It's always good to be under that magical 10-second mark. And actually, Arska's brought the gap down over the last few laps.
Oh, Mantas is in trouble.
Oh.
He's went off in the first corner, and he went back to track, and he already spun once again. This could allow Hamlin to catch up, but...
What's up with his car?
He's punctured.
He's got a puncture,
rear left.
Oh. Yeah, that explains a lot.
Yeah, so watch out for Thamuli getting a podium potentially here then. And
probably he will.
Within possibility. And Mantas, after getting pole, throws a last-minute curveball into this race. 2 to go. Well, 1.5 laps to go. And he's got a puncture. Unbelievable.
There's going to be a whole bunch of drivers coming through the Hamlin Soini, probably Johnny SVK as well, and Rony, I think. They're all very much possible to get through.
Yeah, Tamuli should be alert to the incident unfolding in front of him. So yeah, the third place is going to go to him in a matter of moments.
Yeah, Mantas will lose a ton of time in the pits. And you'll be right, Miika. A whole bunch of cars will capitalise from that mistake. So I wonder, did Mantas not change tyres in the pit stop then? Almost certainly not, right? I mean, there's no way he would have burned through a set in 20 laps or 15 laps or whatever. And here comes the Muli. It's his time to shine. Steady on. Don't want to bottle it there. With 1 lap to go. And your potential shot at a podium. Mantas has looped it and into the green stuff. It's an uncomfortable end for his race there. Unfortunate, really. And Rony and Johnny SVK also going to make up a position. Johnny
Not to
SVK.
jinx it, but the Harmon seems to have not changed the tires either.
Oh.
And they are getting 19, but let's see. Let's hope they will last until the end of the last lap.
I think they're fine. There's plenty of rubber left on those, Miika. No need to panic.
Not much.
Plenty. Well, anyway, Rick Cardle is on to the final lap. He doesn't have the fastest lap at this stage, so let's see if he's pushing on this final attempt as he shoots it through the chicane. Fastest split 1, so he's definitely on something. Very, very nice chicane. And then guides it into this middle sector. Not taking too many liberties with track limits. And nicely up onto that very odd exit curb there. If you put too much of your car onto it, then you can spin out on all sorts. 2 punctures for Mantas as he pulls up into his box, and it's a long stop. Yeah, it's going to be a long final lap for Mantas because, well, Rick's nearly finished his lap. He guides his car around to the checkered flag.
Yeah, that's oil burner pulling off to the side to be lapped. And now the final sector awaits Rick Cardle, and the honour of winning this race and the championship was already secured as Gabor was not here and he was too far back anyway. So this is Rick Cardle's time to shine. So yeah, for one last time in 2023 in the XL, we shall hail the champion. And a wonderful performance here at Fern Bay Black.
Yeah, fair play to Rick. Fair play to Sidus all year long. They've outshone pretty much everybody else in Live for Speed this year, bar a couple of exceptions. But it's Rick Cardle's day. Rick Cardle's championship for 2023. He wins the final round of RTFR XL for the year in emphatic fashion, ahead of Asker, who did a very, very nice job himself, picking up the fastest lap of the race. To boot, so good effort.
Yeah, truly inspirational driving from Arska today. It looked like his confidence was perhaps lacking because Mantas and Joni Katila were battling tooth and nail. He was just sitting back, but I suppose he had the game plan and it paid off in the long term, as he was then able to show what he's truly capable of with that fastest lap. So yeah, smart tactical driving from Arska, and he's a worthy podium finisher today.
Pretty close in the end between Tamuli and Soini. Look, this is the fight for third, which came almost down to the wire. Soini really pushing actually, but won't quite be able to get that podium. It will be Tamuli who will take it, and Soini will have to settle for best of the rest in the end in P4. And, well, yeah, good effort there as Johnny SVK comes across the line just ahead of Rony. And I believe we are waiting for one more car.
Yeah, it's Mantas, I believe.
We get Mantas and Michael coming up.
Michael will be first, and then it will be Mantas. So yeah, unfortunate end for Mantas's race there. As Michael does a pirouette across the line, and Mantas doesn't make it to the line before doing a pirouette. Pretty much sums up his afternoon, really, doesn't it? P7 in the end.
Yeah.
Well, unlucky.
At least he never gave up. I know we could have seen much better for him, but yeah, it's great that he stuck it out to the end and made a show for everybody, and hopefully he'll come back stronger next time.
Yeah, indeed. Rick Cardle in the background there, sitting aloft victory lane, winning in 1 hour, 18 minutes, 26.18. 10 seconds or just under 10 seconds away from Asker. Fair play to Asker. Look at the gap to everybody else. Asker just 9 seconds away, and then the best of the rest, Thamuli, over a minute off Rick Cardle's winning time. Timu Soini gets the wooden spoon today. The fourth place goes his way with Johnny SVK, Rony, Mantas, Oilburner, Michael, Yarikitilla, and Hermani, your 11 finishers. Kata DNF'd in the grass. Rags had an unfortunate incident. True Alpha also, and Lorenzo and Majesta not making it past the first 10 laps. Kata will classify for points, so just over the 50% race distance completed. So that's good for him, I guess. But there we go. That draws to a close. That draws to a close the 2023 season, Owen and Miika. It's been a blast.
Yeah, it's been absolutely thrilling to have covered the bulk of the races this year with sim broadcasts, and the fact that we've kept the mods going another year. They're still very much an appeal for the series, but of course they're not going to be overexposed either. So yeah, you keep the interest high, and hopefully we'll see some more creative ideas as LFS heads into the new year.
Yeah, well, plenty to look forward to in 2024. I'm sure we've got the official patch coming in around about a week or two, so all of that to look forward to over the holiday break. And just one more official broadcast on our channel before the end of the year. That's on our schedule at least, and that will be next Thursday for the final round of Fragmasters GTI Thursday at a track which is yet to be confirmed. That will be confirmed tomorrow, of course. If you fancy driving some GTIs, then you can do in the FM GTI Thursday race that will be happening tomorrow evening. And we do hope that you can join that, because that will be great. From all of us here at Sim Broadcasts, we hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will see you on the 21st for FM GTI Thursday. From all of us here to all of you, it's been a pleasure. Thanks to our drivers, thanks to World Class Lions and Race Green Events for putting this all together. We couldn't do it without them. From all of us to all of you, have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
you